It's recording.
Perfect.
There you go.
So let's go back to trying to explain the three rules. So the first rule, when we want to be really fluent, so the first rule we were discussing when you have a word ending in a consonant,
The next starting
and
with
and consonant, and then the next word of consonant. Oh, I invented a new word. Consonant. So
you need
then
to share your screen.
We can't. Yeah, we
Okay.
can't see your screen.
you
Do not
can.
share.
Okay, beautiful. So thank you very much. So we'll
So
share.
you can misspell all you want. We won't even notice.
We won't know.
I'll have to take your word for it.
I love how positive you are. You as a group. You are so positive. Beautiful. So can you see my screen now?
Ah, there you go.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So
Perfecto.
we have a consonant and then vowel. So that was our first rule. And so for example, one of the examples that we had was el español, right? So that was the one that we were using in our segment. And then I believe is the second one you're referring to, Mike, right? Which
Right,
is number
yes.
2, when we have a vowel, but in this case, it would be 2 different vowels,
Right.
right? So vowel and vowel, okay? And could you think of an example of the segment that we were reading?
Ooh,
Oh.
And I'll show it to you right here. Okay, can you think of an example?
like novio es ruso.
Novio
Novio es.
es ruso. Correcto.
Going up. There you go. Right
So,
there.
novio is perfect. So I'll add that one. Novio, one vowel, and then es different vowel. So we will link it. Novio es ruso. Perfecto. And then you're referring to rule number 3, I believe. Okay. Which is in this case 2 vowels together. Okay. We don't have an example there. Okay. But let's think of an example. For example,
What about entre ellos? Near the bottom of that example. Entre.
Hallelujah, brother. Entre ellos is exactly what we were looking for. I love your input there. So this would be same vowel plus same vowel. Okay. In that case, what we would do, rather than saying entre ellos, entre ellos. And what it is in this case, the emphasis goes right in the center. Because if you think about it, this word ends in S. And our phonetic rule was, if a word ends in a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, or N, or S, you emphasize the second last syllable. Are we in agreement there? Perfect. So in this case, this word ends in S. So I have to emphasize the previous syllable, which is E. So you end up saying entre ellos. Could we practice that at the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
Entre ellos.
Outstanding. Now, could we apply it in the real situation of our sentences? Okay. So we'll go right to that line. Okay. Do we have it? Entre ellos?
Near the
No,
bottom.
no, you made it up, which is
No.
outstanding.
It's at the bottom. It's at the
Where it
bottom of that
starts, no
box.
You got ahead of the
Right
game.
there.
Right
Right
there.
there.
Oh, beautiful. And you know the challenge there? The challenge is this, huh? Oh, wow, boy, oh
Cuando
boy, oh
hablan
boy, oh
entre
boy.
ellos.
Think about it. When you say, cuando,
Hablan
Hablan.
cuando hablan
Hablan entre ellos.
entre ellos.
One big word.
It's all one long word. Could we try it? Oh, I love it. Thank you, Mike. Okay,
Oh, boy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's all. That is the ultimate, right? Cuando hablan entre ellos. Cuando hablan entre ellos. Cuando hablan entre ellos. Cuando hablan, slow motion. Cuando hablan entre ellos.
I
Cuando
feel like I will
hablan
never
entre
understand
ellos.
anybody talking to me.
Okay, at the count of three, slow motion, slow motion, count to three. Uno, dos, let's go.
Cuando
Cuando
hablan
hablan
entre
entre
ellos.
You got it. Could we play? Could you add a little bit of fluency now? We are not going to go slow motion. It's not being crazy fast, but a little bit. Cuando hablan entre ellos. Uno, dos, tres, go.
Cuando hablan entre ellos.
Beautiful. And remember my advice with the TRs or DRs, rather than tr,
ellos.
tre,
Ellos.
tre, tre.
Ellos.
Entre ellos,
Like a little
entre
trill.
ellos, entre ellos. Just practice that. Entre ellos. But give me a little smile there. Entre ellos. Uno, dos, tres, go.
Entre ellos.
There's still a tr today, rather than tr. Today. There you go. Now we're talking. Entre ellos. Entre ellos. Could we try it once more and then we'll go to the top again? Uno, dos, tres.
Cuando hablan entre ellos.
Let's go to the top of what we were doing here. So we were discussing that Manuela has a boyfriend who speaks Russian and she's a translator, right? And then
No, he's German.
What is it? Actually, the boyfriend is not Russian.
He's German.
He's German, but he's also a translator of Russian, and they speak Russian between them. And remember, the word entre would mean between and also among, right? And then this is what we were doing. Okay, so we are able to conjugate verb hablar fully, right? You say yo hablo, tú hablas, usted habla, etc. And now, as I said, the do or does or will or would, which are auxiliaries, they don't exist in Spanish. So whenever you want to make a sentence negative, don't even think about them. Don't even think about them. Just think, I know how to conjugate the verb and make it negative. How do you make it negative? Just you put the word no in front of the conjugated form of the verb. You already know how to say I speak, which is?
Yo hablo.
How do you say I don't speak?
Yo no hablo.
Outstanding. How would you say she doesn't speak?
Él no habla.
How would you say we don't speak?
Nosotros no hablamos.
Bravo. How would you say, oh, they don't speak?
Oh, ellos no hablan.
Now, little challenge that could be a real situation. You're traveling with your family, with your friends. You're the only one. You're the only ones who speaks Spanish. And you want to say, they don't speak Spanish, but I do. That is the intention. They don't speak Spanish, but I do. You see that we use the do in order to avoid repetition. We don't want to say they don't speak Spanish, but I speak Spanish. That's what you'll do in Spanish. You'll say they don't speak. Start with that.
Ellos no hablan español.
It's not nosotros. We're talking about they, which is they would be ellos, ellos. Are we in agreement here? So we want, beautiful. So let's try it again. We want to say they don't speak Spanish. Uno, dos, tres, go.
Ellos
no hablan
español.
And then you're going to add, but I speak Spanish.
Pero yo
hablo
Español, right? Pero yo hablo español. Now, pero yo hablo. Now we are going to add that little fluency, and actually I'll write it down because most of us sometimes are visual learners, so we want to see that in front of us in order to continue here. So this is your target. Ellos no hablan español. Pero, correcto, muy bien.
Yo
hablo español.
Okay, and you know what? I'm going to give you a little trick here. If I wanted to emphasize, you know what? They don't speak Spanish, but I do speak. You know, when we put the I do, like to emphasize a little bit more, since in Spanish we don't have those auxiliaries, do, does, did, will, etc., etc. So in order to emphasize here, I would say, ellos no hablan español, pero yo sí hablo español. Pero yo sí hablo español, and I'll put it in bracket. It's optional. It's just optional. But that would give you a very nice emphasis. A very nice emphasis when you're saying, you know what? They don't speak Spanish, but I do speak Spanish. Okay.
So between the yo and the hablo,
ellos no hablan español, pero yo sí. Right.
Sí.
It would be in between hablo. It would be in between hablo and español.
Okay.
Pero
yo sí. And you would even give that little pause. Pero yo sí hablo español. And that would give you that you know, that extra. But I do speak Spanish.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it go before or after hablo?
Hablo.
Pero yo, pardon me. That's what like Mike was so confused.
Am I gonna have to take over this class?
Jorge, I throw the towel right now. Pero yo sí, right there. Okay. Pero yo sí.
There we go.
Oh,
all right, you pass.
Gracias. You're saving like today with the technical difficulties and everything. No, ellos no hablan español, pero yo sí hablo español. At the count of three, with that nice emphasis, you're all on at the count of three. Uno, dos, tres, go.
Ellos no hablan español, pero yo sí hablo español.
Beautiful. And a couple of things, and that's perfect fluency, because little by little you're getting used to all these little rules. Ellos no hablan español. So you linked it. Hablan español, pero yo sí, little pause, hablo, and you link it again. Pero yo sí hablo español. Pero yo sí hablo español. And once more, we'll all say it with the proper fluency, proper emphasis. Your little pause is on C. Count to three. Uno, dos, tres. Let's do it.
Ellos no hablan español,
pero yo sí hablo español.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about when we apply these rules, including the H is silent, then you'll see that little by little, you're going to get that fluency that you are looking for in your Spanish. Let's go back to what we were doing here. Now, I was kind of recapping here with the information because then I'm going to go with questions, okay? And be ready for that. So could we, we were in this segment. Cuando hablo con sus padres, how do you translate that?
When
speaking with his parents.
With parents.
That's right. You see,
parents.
that's the beauty of verb conjugation. There's no misunderstanding because cuando hablo, we drop the
I
yo. We drop the yo, but how would you know that you're saying, I speak?
What's o at the end?
Hablo.
Hablo.
Outstanding. So,
Got it.
pero cuando hablo con sus padres, and then hablo en inglés y ellos contestan. New verb here.
Mm.
The verb is contestar. AR verb, which is to answer. Very quickly, very quickly. Contestar is your target. Boom, boom, boom. I'll give you the subject. Give me the conjugated form of contestar. Ready? Here we go. Yo
Contesto.
contesto. Tú.
Contesta.
Perfecto. De three amigos. Usted, ella, él.
Contesta.
Perfecto. Nosotros, nosotras.
Contestamos.
Perfecto. Muy bien. Contestamos. And the tricky one now. Vosotros, vosotras.
Contestáis.
Perfecto. Contestáis. And the two amigos now. Ustedes and ellos.
Contestan.
Which is the one that we're using.
We're
You
using
see?
now. There we go.
Ellos
Contestan.
contestan. And then you started with, cuando yo hablo con sus padres, hablo en inglés. Y ellos contestan en alemán. And then, next segment here. Could you please translate it? La verdad es que comprendo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. New verb. Verb comprender. What is comprender again?
Understand.
To understand. To understand. So far, we are adding new verbs to our repertoire. So the new verbs are contestar, and the other one is responder. Okay, so let's put it there. Contestar. And then the other one is responder. What is the trick here with responder, which is to answer? What is the trick? It's an ER verb.
Yeah.
So don't be tempted because you did so well with contestar. Yo contesto, tú contestas, usted contesta, etc., etc. Responder, to answer. Contestar is also to answer. So we have a like a synonym, contestar, responder. Both are interchangeable. But what is the problem? One is AR, the other one is ER. Could you please conjugate responder? Here we go. Yo.
Respondo.
Tú.
Responda.
Respondes. Don't be afraid of those endings. Eh? Yo respondo, tú respondes, because it's an ER verb. The three amigos. Usted, ella, él.
Responde.
Correcto. Beautiful. Nosotros.
Respondemos.
Respondemos. The tricky one. Vosotros, vosotras.
Respondéis.
Respondéis. Let's go with ustedes, ellos.
Responden.
Now, and this is perfect for what we'll be doing right after this, which is going back to El Cuarto Misterioso. What if I throw a familiar verb? What if I throw this in the proper spot, of course? Llamar. What is llamar again?
To name.
To name, but also when you're not using it with the SE, technically speaking, you're saying
Oh,
To call.
to call. Are we in agreement here?
Mhm.
Okay, so conjugate the verb, and then I'll give you like a typical situation where you would use these two or these three verbs. Let's go with a verb conjugation. Llamar is an AR verb. Yo
Llamo.
llamo. Tú
Llamas.
llamas. Three amigos. Usted, ella, él.
Llama.
Llama.
Nosotros
Llamémonos.
llamamos. You were adding an extra syllable there.
Yeah.
Llamamos.
Llamamos.
Let's go with vosotros.
Llamáis.
Llamáis. And go with ustedes, ellos.
Llaman.
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 Now, what
Llaman.
if my target is this, and you're my traductores, you're my official traductores, my official translators here. If I wanted to have the following sentence: Francisco calls Ana, but Ana's mother answers the phone. Okay. Francisco calls Ana, but Anna's mother answers the phone. Okay, now here we're consolidating things. It's a long sentence. I hope we're putting all these elements together. Let's start with Francisco calls.
Francisco llama
Yeah,
Ana.
and in this case, we're going to take a little pause here, and actually, I'm going to introduce something that is familiar to you. A little chart here, going with the subject, then verb, and then I'll go with the object. Okay, so I have a subject, verb, and then object. Question: what happens when the object is a person? When you say I perform the action, this is the action, and then I'm introducing an object, like such as the case here. Francisco is the subject. And then what is the word? Outstanding. When it's a person, you need that So in this case, Francisco llama
Ana.
Ana.
Perfecto.
It's a lot of A's.
Llama Ana. There's a lot of A's. Llama Ana.
Llama Ana.
Ana.
And then now it's not only two, but we have three. The verb. Perfect example. Now, Francisco llama Ana. Francisco llama Ana.
Okay.
But in this case, rather than turning all these three into one, we must put that so it would be two. Francisco llama Ana. Francisco llama Ana. Francisco llama Ana. Okay. Francisco llama Ana. Uno, dos, tres.
Francisco
Francisco
llama
llama Ana.
Continue translating.
Pero.
And now, remember my piece of advice. Whenever we have the apostrophe S, so do not start with the first element. You're not talking about Ana. No. You're talking about the mother of Ana.
La madre.
La madre de
La madre, or I'll go with
La mama.
yeah, I'll go with both. La madre
De Ana.
And now, time to shine bright like a diamond. Answers the phone.
Responde.
El
Telefone.
Responde el
teléfono.
Teléfono.
Oh no. El teléfono.
Oh
Okay.
no.
And I'll put if it was casual, like I would go la
Mama.
correct. So we could go casual, we could go a little bit more formal. Okay. And I'll put it right here too. Remember that these guys are interchangeable. Responde, or what if I use the other verb? Contestar rather than responder. What would I put in bracket?
Conteste.
But it's an ER verb.
Contesta.
Correcto. That is the beauty of verb conjugation. It'll give you that edge in terms of now you're not just throwing the verb and I don't know what to do with the verb. No, you are able to talk to a native speaker of the language, and that native speaker of the language will know exactly what you're trying to say. Francisco llama a Ana, pero la madre de Ana responde el teléfono. We are not going to take the ones in bracket. So at the count of 3, we'll say Francisco llama a Ana, pero la madre de Ana responde el teléfono. Responde el teléfono. Count of 3, you're on. 1, 2, 3.
Francisco llama a Ana, pero la madre de Ana responde teléfono.
Okay, now let's be versatile here. On the spot. Let's think that you are getting a phone call. You're saying, my friend calls my son, but I answer the phone. My friend calls my son, but I answer the phone. Okay, start with my friend.
Mi amigo.
Mi amigo llama mi hijo.
Okay, now in this case, it has to be instant. You have to think, mi amigo is the subject. Llama is the action, and then comes an object, which is a person.
Mi
amigo.
Mi hijo.
We're fine. Okay.
Okay.
Go again.
Pio.
1, 2, 3.
Mi
Mi amigo llama a
llama
mi hijo.
But I answer the phone.
Pero
llamo el
Pero
teléfono.
yo what? You have 2 options.
Llamo.
Respondo.
Pero yo.
Oh, yeah.
Teléfono.
Respondo.
Correcto. Pero yo respondo el teléfono.
Teléfono.
Okay. So once again, be patient. Be patient because you're right on the edge of applying verb conjugation to a real situation. Yes, it's taking us that little moment of trying to figure out what ending I'm using, but you're doing it. And then we're going to add the other components, which is for fluency. How do you link all these words according to those 3 rules that we were practicing? El teléfono. Okay. Now, you have the elements. Could you please give me fluency now? Remembering that here I have vowel, so I will link it. And then only one on llama mi hijo, llama mi. And in this case, the tendency would be to keep the other a, because of the importance. Llama mi, and then link it. Mi, H is silent. Mi hijo. Pero yo respondo él. Another situation here. Yo respondo el teléfono. Yo respondo el teléfono. Count to 3, you're on. 1, 2, let's go.
Mi amigo llama mi hijo, pero yo respondo el teléfono.
Excelente. As I said, be patient because you'll get there. You'll get to the point of, yes, it's hard sometimes to remember that I'm not conjugating an AR verb. I'm conjugating an ER verb, but then you'll see the result. So we're analyzing these segments again. No mucho. Cuando hablo con sus padres, hablo en inglés y ellos contestan en alemán. Contestan en alemán. Then, la verdad es que how do you translate that? La verdad es que comprendo bastante todo lo que me dicen. Up to there. How would you translate that?
Truth is that a little of, I can speak a little of all.
Or in this case, we're using verb comprender.
I can
What was comprender?
understand.
Oh, yeah, understand.
I can
And the
understand.
word bastante, bastante would be quite a lot. Quite a lot.
Bastante.
Okay.
So I understand quite a lot. Todo lo que me dicen. And here is a situation. I understand a lot of everything. Of what? When this lo que, and I'm going to isolate that because that is a very important component, because so far we all know what this word means. The word. What is the meaning of que?
That.
Okay, so I heard someone saying that. Any other meaning for que?
What?
What? Okay, now, this is the situation. When you're saying what, that will turn that que into a question. And for a question, then of course that would have an accent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. For example, remember when we were practicing verb querer, which is for this unit, querer, to want or to love, right? I'll push you a little bit. Querer is a so-called stem changing verb, right? And we'll use it as, in this case, to want. Although this could also mean to love a person. Okay. And I'm going to put that E in red, reminding you that it's a stem changing verb. What do we know about stem changing verbs so far?
Yeah, that one's got the weird one.
Okay. And when we do the stem change, do we do the stem change to all persons? Yo,
No.
tú, usted?
No.
No. What are the ones that you don't undergo with the stem change?
Second person or third person?
Which is, but second person, that would be first person plural and second person
Third
plural.
person plural.
Okay. So
Person.
in other words, nosotros, nosotras, and
Right.
vosotras, no stem change. Are we
And
fine with that?
vosotras.
Okay.
Yes.
So in one shot, please. Conjugate querer. How we say, I want. Yo
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 Quiero.
quiero.
yo quiero. So I'll go yo quiero. How about tú?
Tú
quieres.
quieres.
Tú quieres, and actually I'll
Okay.
put this one here. Yo quiero. Tú
Quieres.
quieres. That was
Quieres.
perfect. Usted y él
Quiere.
quiere. Okay. And how about nosotros?
Queremos.
Queremos.
Queremos. Perfecto. Vosotros, vosotras.
Queréis.
Yes.
Yes.
Eyes.
But remember that it's an ER verb.
Es.
Correcto.
Queréis.
Queréis, and the two amigos. Now we go
Quieren.
back, and actually just as a reminder, I put all
Quieren.
these two ones in red. Just as a reminder that those ones, no stem change. Now we go back to the stem change when you say ustedes and ellos, what?
Quieren.
Quieren.
Perfecto. Okay, now let's take this verb here. Querer. And real situation. You're in a restaurant, okay? And you're asking a friend or a relative, what do you want? What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? What would be the question?
¿Qué quieres?
That is.
Muy bien. ¿Qué quieres? And then rule.
Comer.
Second verb, non-conjugated.
Yes.
And you want to say, what do you want to eat?
Comer.
Comer.
Perfecto. Could you please put it together? Put it together as a typical question that you might use in your conversations in the future. ¿Qué quieres comer? Rising intonation. ¿Qué quieres comer? Count to 3, you're on. 1, 2, 3.
¿Qué
¿Qué
quieres
quieres comer?
Okay, now, situation. What if I want to say, I want to eat what is in the menu? I want to eat what is in the menu. Okay, so I'm going to write it down because it's a brand new little concept. Okay, so
Quiero.
I want to eat,
Quiero
and then
Quiero
what
Okay.
is in the menu.
Este.
Okay. Now this is my question, and please, you make a comment here. I want to eat what is in the menu. Okay. What is the difference? What is the difference between this what? What do you want to eat? ¿Qué quieres comer? And this, I want to eat what it is in the menu. They would have a different quality. The first one, when you're saying, what do you want to eat?
It has an accent.
What do you want to eat? It's a question, right?
Mhm.
The second one, this one is a question. This one is a question.
Mhm.
But this one
So what
is
goes
not a
there? It's
question.
statement.
This was a statement.
Object.
Outstanding. This is a statement. So here, it takes a little while, but then you'll see that once you master it, you'll use it properly. When what in a conversation is a statement, is not a question, you must use lo que in order to differentiate it from the question what. What I mean by that is start with I want.
Quiero.
Yo quiero.
Yeah,
Quiero.
yeah. That is beautiful. And for the way you did it, I'm going to put this in bracket because it's
Sí.
optional at this point. And then you'll say quiero.
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 And then
Comer.
second verb, non-conjugated.
Comer.
Quiero comer.
And now is what we just learned. When what
Okay.
is a statement, is part of a statement, you must include lo.
Lo que
And now
Ah.
is lo que
es
está, is temporary, lo que está
está
en
en el
en el
menú.
menú. Okay.
Quiero
Quiero comer lo que
comer lo que
está en
está
el
en
menú.
el menú.
And once again, this is a brand new thing. So, as I said, when what is part of a statement, don't use just que. As soon as you just use que, at that point, that would turn that into a question. Quiero comer, ¿qué está en el menú? ¿Qué está en el menú? It turns it into a question. Okay. Now let's use.
Tengo una pregunta.
Go for it, Jill.
Is it proper to say, like in my head,
Yeah.
I'm saying, I want what it is in the menu. Is
Correcto.
that low equivalent to it?
What?
It would be, in essence, very good observation, Jill. In essence, because remember that it in subject position does not have an equivalent, right? When you say, oh, it is hot, you say, oh, hace calor. Or when you say, oh, it's beautiful, you say, es hermoso, but you don't translate it. Is correct? Is that correct?
Right.
Yes, right. But in this case, what you're saying makes complete sense, Jill. Makes complete sense because that oh, I want to eat what it's in the menu. It is in the menu. I love your observation. I love your observation. Now, what if I wanted to start using loque, but in initial position? So right here, loque. What I want is not in the menu.
Oh,
What I want is not in the menu. Right after the question, someone asks you, ¿Qué quieres comer? What I want is not in the menu. So start with, in this case, you would start with lo que. Otherwise, if you don't put the lo, as you were saying, Jill, acknowledging the it factor, you turn that into a question. But no, you don't want to say a question, you want to make a statement. So go for it.
okay.
Okay,
no.
Esta
Lo que yo
Yo
Comer.
we want to say
Quiero.
what I want to eat is not in the menu. What I want to eat is not in the menu. Go for it again. Lo que yo
Quiero como
no es o comer
and temporary.
no
no
está
Perfecto. No está
en el menú.
el menú. Lo que
Okay.
yo quiero no está en el menú. And of course, lo que, and you know what? Remember what we did here in terms of putting the yo in bracket because it's optional? But in this case, guess what? I would rather keep it for emphasis. It's like sharks. What I want is not in the menu. What I want. You found what you want in the menu, but I did not. In that intention, I would keep it. Lo que yo quiero comer no está en el menu. It's almost like, you know, it's a statement. It's almost like a complaint. You see? Lo que yo quiero comer no está en el menú. Could you please give me that with intention? Lo que yo quiero comer no está en el menú. 1, 2, 3, go.
Lo que yo
quiero
comer
no está en el menú.
Beautiful. I think there was a question.
Yeah, I was wondering, could we leave out comer?
Lo que yo quiero. Oh, that's true, Amanda. Lo que yo quiero no está en el menú. Perfecto. Because it's understood. You already stated it at the beginning or the person asking you. Lo que yo quiero no está en el menú. And you know what? That would give you also a nice fluency. A nice fluency. Lo que yo quiero no está en el menú. At the count of 3, could we all say it without comer? 1, 2, 3, go.
Lo que
Quiero no
está en el menú.
Beautiful. Now, when we go back to the use of that law in that sentence, I hope now it'll make more sense to you. Okay, so we said, no mucho. Cuando hablo con sus padres, hablo en inglés y ellos contestan en alemán. La verdad es que comprendo bastante todo lo que me dicen. So the truth is that I understand quite a lot of what they are saying to me. That would be the intention.
okay
Actually, it's I understand quite a lot of what they are saying to me. And then pero lo hablo muy poquito, pero lo hablo un poquito. And Jill, that word lo in this case would be equivalent to it, but in object position. If we translate this, how would you translate, pero lo hablo muy poquito?
But
I
I
speak a
speak
little
a little of it.
Beautiful, but I speak it. And what is the it?
I speak it a little.
But what is the it? Replacing what?
Oh,
language.
language.
What language?
Alemán.
Alemán. Outstanding. And then, quiero aprender más. What is that?
I want to learn more.
I want to learn more. Okay, then we have claro. Remember the claro? That was
Clearly.
claro. Is in a conversation. Is like sure. Yeah,
Claro.
sure. Claro. Pues hablas muchos idiomas. And this pues would be almost equivalent to sure, because you what?
Speak many languages.
Correcto. And then, qué bien. Oh, that's good. Next line. Bueno, no tantos. We're talking about languages. What is this? Bueno, no tantos.
Not all.
Not many.
Many.
Not
because
many.
we're talking about languages, right? Bueno, no tantos. Ahora quiero aprender portugués. What is the scope here?
Now I
Should
want to learn Portuguese.
And then we go with Portugués. And then could we read the last segment here at the count of 3? And once again, we're consolidating all this business of conjugating verbs and then adding new verbs to our repertoire. 1, 2, 3, go.
Sí,
Sí,
porque tengo muchos amigos brasileños
brasileños
y cuando hablan entre
Cuando hablan
ellos,
entre
comprendo
ellos,
muchas
comprendo muchas
palabras.
palabras
palabras
frases.
diferentes.
Y
Y
escucho música
brasileña y
brasileña
también lo
y
comprendo
también lo comprendo
comprendo casi todo.
casi todo. Beautiful, beautiful reading there. Now, give me the translation. Sí, porque tengo muchos amigos brasileños. What's that?
Because I have many friends who are
Brazilian
Brazilian.
friends.
Very good. Because I have many Brazilian friends. Y cuando hablan entre ellos, remember that we learned entre. What is that?
And between
Together.
us, together.
So,
Among.
and when they
We speak together.
I understand
Understand
many
words
many words
and
And phrases.
y escucho música. What's that?
I listen to
And
I listen to
Brazilian
Brazilian music.
And I have to
also
understand.
And then I also understand it. The law would be the it, but in object position. And then casi todo. Irina, what is that?
Almost
Casi todo.
everything.
almost everything.
Nothing.
Everything. Almost everything. Okay. Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
now little by little, we are getting a handle on that. So let's actually do this little exercise here. Let's listen to that audio file to
Audio alternativo. Unidad 2. 3.
Manuela, tú hablas ruso, ¿verdad?
Sí, es que soy traductora del ruso al español.
¿Y tu novio es ruso? ¿Puede ser?
No, es alemán, pero también es traductor de ruso y entre nosotros hablamos en ruso.
Ah, ¿y no hablas alemán?
No mucho. Cuando hablo con sus padres hablo en inglés y ellos contestan en alemán. La verdad es que comprendo bastante todo lo que me dicen, pero lo hablo muy poquito. Quiero aprender más.
Claro. Pues hablas muchos idiomas, qué bien.
Bueno, no tantos. Ahora quiero aprender portugués.
¿Portugués?
Sí, porque tengo muchos amigos brasileños y cuando hablan entre ellos comprendo muchas palabras y frases. Y escucho música brasileña y también lo comprendo casi todo.
Okay. So you see, like, I know it's still challenging, but please do this on a regular basis. You have the transcript, you have the audio files, and go with everything that we've been learning in terms of how to conjugate verbs, the new vocabulary, and then go back to the way we are adding emphasis and the way we are adding intonation when it's rising intonation for questions, and then the difficult one when we blend all these words together because of those three reasons or those three principles: consonant vowel, vowel vowel, and same vowel, and the H is silent. Okay, and one more little exercise here. This is for listening as well. You have this third audio file with I think it's four characters. Okay, could you please read what character number 1 will say, and try to apply the three principles. Look at your 2 lines. Remember that you have some H's around there, and you have a vowel. Okay, at the count of 3, I'm going to challenge you a little bit. I'll leave you alone there to read those 2 first lines at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yo
Yo hago
muchos
muchos
ejercicios
ejercicios
de
de
gramática
gramática
en
en casa y
casa.
también
hago
hago
teatro en
teatro en
español.
español.
Yo
Beautiful.
leo.
Beautiful.
Leo
Beautiful.
blogs.
And if you take the last portion of the second line, it's challenging because you're saying hago teatro en español. Hago teatro en español. Hago teatro en español. Hago teatro en español. Count of 3. You're saying that. 1, 2, 3.
Hago teatro en español.
Okay, could I have someone to translate the 2 lines, please? Yo hago muchos ejercicios de gramática en casa y también hago teatro en español. What's the scoop here?
I do lots of grammatical exercises in my home, and I go to the theater or movies in Spanish.
Okay, very good translation. Just one little thing. When you're saying hago teatro, it's not going to the movies.
Oh,
Remember, because in this case, we made the difference between teatro and cine.
oh,
Right,
okay.
right. So that is the difference. So in this case, it's theater, right? And what is the verb hacer? Hacer,
Do.
to do or to
go.
make. To do or to make,
Oh.
right, Jill? So hacer has the 2 meanings, to do or to make. And the first person singular is irregular because the verb is hacer, H-A-C-E-R. And yet, when you say I do or I make, you don't say yo hago. You say yo hago. Yo hago is I do or I make. Could we all say I do or I make in Spanish? 1, 2, 3.
Yo
hago.
Yo hago. And that was a very good translation when you're saying I do many grammatical exercises at home. And I also what? The latter part of the sentence. I also what?
go to the theater in Spanish.
But it's not going to the theater.
Or that go to,
I make.
Go
Or in
to
this
the
case,
Spanish theater.
in this case, it would be because you're involved in the action. You're saying, I
make.
do theater in Spanish.
I see.
So this person is involved in a theater play, Spanish play, right? So he would take a role and all that. He would be involved in that. So that's why this person speaks or is learning Spanish. Number 2, could you please be character number 2 at the count of 3? 1, 2, 3, go.
Yo leo blogs y
periódicos en español.
Y también
música en español.
Okay, so tell me what is this character doing in order to enhance his Spanish?
He reads
writes
Spanish
He reads
blogs and
blogs and
Newspapers.
and listens
newspapers
to music,
in Spanish, and then
And
and
listens
he
to
listens to
music.
music,
he
Spanish
listens to
music.
music in Spanish. Number 3, please. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yo
Veo
veo
series
y
películas en
películas en
español.
español.
He
Okay, what does
watches
this person does? Do, pardon me?
Watches
Watches series and
movies,
movies in
movies in
Spanish.
Spanish.
And could you please give me número 4? 1, 2, let's go.
Yo hablo español con algunos amigos mexicanos y colombianos.
Villanos.
He speaks Spanish with
Some
Colombian friends.
friends, Mexican friends, and Colombian
Who's-
friends.
You know what? I'm really impressed. Number 1, the way you read it, because you're feeling
Some.
more comfortable. I heard everyone going, yo hablo español con algunos amigos mexicanos y colombianos. All one nice sentence, and then you emphasized mexicanos, colombianos, which is the important portion of this information. Now, the word algunos, yes,
Some.
you translated it well, means some. And algunos would also have a gender difference. Okay,
Oh,
what if
yes,
there was
algunas.
some female Mexican or Colombian friends?
Algunas.
Amigas.
That's what it is. You got it. Algunos, algunas. So that would have gender difference, and that would be equivalent to some. Algunos amigos y amigas colombianas. So you have those 4 characters, and next class, I'm going to start the class with that because you have that little activity in your textbook when you look at this segment here. You have listen to these 4 people and write down what each person does to improve their Spanish and learn things about Hispanic culture. Now, let's go. Número 1. ¿Cómo se llama número 1?
Ismael.
Ismael. And now, remember that we were practicing the new verb, which is verb hacer. And we learned that hacer has 2 meanings, right?
To do and to make.
Okay. And I also said to you, the first person singular of hacer is irregular, because when you want to say I do or I make, you would say yo hago. Yo hago. The rest is completely regular. If the rest is completely regular, pardon me, how we say you do or you make?
To hacer.
But don't feel afraid of the ending.
Haces.
Correcto. And how about the 3 amigos?
Hace.
Usted, ella, él, hace. And how about nosotros?
Hacemos.
Hacemos. How about vosotros, vosotras? Hacéis. And one more. How about ustedes, ellos? Hacen. This is a very functional verb, because what if I wanted to say, hey, what do you do? What do you do to improve your Spanish? What do you do? Now the what is a question.
Haces.
Perfecto. So ask me the question, what do you do?
Chaoses.
Haces. And now is it fair? Is it fair just to put it in bracket? Just as a reminder, que haces, and I'm missing an S here. Que haces, and then to learn Spanish. That is my question. What do you do to learn Spanish? ¿Qué haces?
¿Qué haces? Aprender
Para,
español.
and in this case, Jill will introduce the para. ¿Qué haces para
Aprender
español.
Español.
Okay, ¿qué haces para aprender español? Okay, now in this case, what if I wanted to go with those 5 characters? Okay, and we already have what they do to learn Spanish. So we have those 4 characters, right? Ismael, Kelly, Graham, and Yona. Okay, and this is what they do in order to improve their Spanish. So we're going to start next class with that. So you have the transcript, and we'll have a little conversation on what they do in order to learn Spanish, and then we'll switch to what do you do? How would you ask the question, what do you do?
¿Qué haces?
And now
¿Qué
emphasis.
haces? ¿Qué haces para aprender español?
Beautiful, Jill. Beautiful. And then you all have your ways of enhancing your Spanish. Okay. So with some technical difficulties here there, all of a sudden Jorge was practicing his magic tricks. Now you don't see me anymore. Now you see me. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you el miércoles.
Gracias.
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 Bye
Gracias.
bye.
Chao, chao.
Ciao, ciao.